I've just finished my watercolor sketchbook. Let's see what's inside. Hello guys, so before I start this video, I just want to say that this video was actually brought to the channel by Arteza or Arteza. I know I've been called out about how I say Arteza, but I've always pronounced it Arteza, and I've had comments saying it should be pronounced Arteza. But if I say it wrong, I really do apologise. It's not intentional or being mean or malicious. It's just force of habit. Arteza was really nice, and they actually sent me 3 of these watercolor sketchbooks, as well as the 72 set of expert watercolor pencils that they have. And Arteza was actually really sweet and gave me a coupon code to give to you for the next month on their website. You can get 10% off everything in their store if you use the coupon code that is linked down below in the description. This is just a disclaimer, I wasn't paid by Arteza in the slightest, but I was given these supplies for free. Before I get any backlash, I will give my full honest review of what I think of products. I'm not going to sugarcoat my words. If I don't like something or it's not working for me, then I will say it. So let's continue with this sketchbook tour. So let's actually start. I'll move it over here just so it's more even in the shot. So the first thing is this picture of me and my little sister. Well, they're supposed to be like little chibis. Now this was actually trying to test out the Arteza watercolor pencils as I bring them back into shot. Sorry, the lighting just went really weird there. But I was testing them out, seeing how they would do. I'm one of those people who is still very unsure about watercolor pencils. And when I received the Arteza watercolor pencils, I was really scared about using them because I had no idea how to, or at least how to use them properly. I used them in high school from time to time, but like I never really learnt properly how to use them, so this was a testing stage. Now with my watercolor pencil pieces, I will say that they either ended up not bad or disastrous. There was no middle ground whatsoever. In fact, not bad was the middle ground. There was never one piece that I thought, oh, that's like amazing, excellent. And I know artists can do amazing things with watercolor pencil, but I'm not one of them. So then I did some sketches. This was around the time that the Reignited trilogy was coming out, the Spyro Reignited trilogy. And I have some like really broken sketches of Spyro, except for these two, because they're pretty cute. I like the way that they came out. Now the one thing I did throughout this sketchbook, and you'll see it a lot, is swatch colours, because I was mixing a lot of different watercolours. So I actually tried out a lot of different watercolours in this sketchbook, and obviously I still went with my favourite because, you know, I'm a creature of habit, so there's that. These are the Sakura Koi watercolours. I like the Sakura Koi watercolours. I think in terms of watercolours, they're like the best travel set I've ever had, but in terms of formula, not particularly the best. Then I did some Miraculous Ladybug. These watercolours are my Koh-i-Noor Annie Linky Brilliant watercolours, and I've said before, I love these watercolours, but they can become quite chalky when layered up, and because I had some issues trying to like make the colour right, here feels very chalky, but like areas like the face don't feel as chalky. As for the Arteza watercolour paper, it just took everything like a dream, and I really like it. The thing that I have noticed about Arteza watercolor paper is that one side is really textured, and then the other side, so this side where I was practicing some stuff with watercolors and just having fun and going crazy with a bit of random calligraphy, this side of the paper is like super smooth. So it really depends on what you want out of the paper. Now I was really mixed on the paper, because even though I loved it and it created some amazing effects, trying to sketch on the textured side was very difficult for me. If you are a person who likes to sketch on smooth paper, use the smooth side, please, for the love of God. However, in my case, I really liked the textured side. Now, I don't like sketching on it, but I loved painting on it because it created this really interesting, unique effect. Now, at first, when I reviewed the watercolor paper, back in my previous review video that I did with Arteza, I didn't like this, but now it's grown on me. I actually really like the way the texture looks. I don't know whether you can see it properly. Let's just bring it up just a little bit. See that texture? Because that's the paper, it wasn't me. This is my character Amelia, and this is my character Abereron. Amelia is a very old character that I made back in 2011. Just like Bethany, I brought her back. So yeah, she's in my character universe now. Woo! So then we went on to my favourite watercolours. I use my favourite watercolours in here, and so this is a picture of Amelia. One of my favourite pictures in this book, actually. And this piece in particular was done to test out a commission style that I could do, and I like it. It looks good. If I was to do traditional commissions like this in the future, would anybody be interested? Because I'm curious what people would say in the comments. The one watercolour on here that isn't White Nights is like this gold colour, and I used it here. It is the Kuretake Gansai Tambi Starry Colours watercolour. It looks very, very pretty. Then, again, another swatch page. Those are not gonna go anywhere. We have Hawk of Avis. Now, this is my character Hawk. He is an evil emperor kind of character, very evil dictator. Now, the one thing I hate about this picture is that hand. That hand cannot be forgiven. Even though I like the shading on it and the colouring of it, like the shape of the hand is just so disgusting to me, but the rest of it turned out really well and I'm happy with it. Now, this is me trying to sketch on the textured side of this paper, and this is when I realised I hate sketching on the textured side of this paper because the textured side is a terrible idea to sketch on. So this is Abereron, again with the watercolour swatches. By the way, this isn't the White Nights watercolour, this is actually the Arteza watercolour pencils, and you can see my inexperience with watercolour pencils. I tried to make it work, like nothing was working. It was just so disastrous. So I just kind of gave up on it. To be honest, Abereron's face with these watercolour pencils was a mood for me. So the next one is a very, very failed, ugly sketch, and I think I did a very quick comparison. I'm not entirely sure which one's which, but I know for a fact that this one was the Arteza, and I think this was the Faber-Castell Gold Faber, and this one might be the Albert Dürer. I'm not entirely sure which one's the Albert Dürer and which one's the Gold Faber out of these two. Both Faber-Castell, by the way. The next page. So this piece kind of caused a little bit of a debate in my Instagram comment section because I said that I didn't like it, and I got messages about this saying that, oh, I like it. I liked it up until I did the face. The face is overdone, and if you can see it, it just looks like a complete mess. It doesn't look good. Believe me, the camera is making it look better than it actually is. It is literally disgusting the way that paint layers on that face. But I like the concept of the sketch. I might redo the sketch at some point, but that could be said with a lot of things, to be honest. Because I wasn't happy with this page and there was like this awkward bit of white space at the bottom, I just tested out my new washi tape at the time. It looks cute, but of course the character in this is my character Loki. Again, swatch page because it never dies. Then we have some testers of the Arteza watercolor pencils. I was very scared to use the watercolor pencils, so I literally just did mostly testers throughout this. It shows off my inexperience using them, to be honest. Then next to it we have my character Brandon. This was also another commission style test thing that I was doing, again with the White Nights watercolor. There's a little footnote here that says Brandon's face is my mood today. Oh wow, okay. But yes, this is Brandon. Brandon is Amelia's older twin brother. So next we have this. These are the Arteza watercolor pencils. This wasn't a particularly good day, but it wasn't a bad day either, so it looks somewhat decent. I think the problem that I had is I couldn't get any browns properly working without it just completely turning to mud. In terms of the colours, I went with like more pinky tones, and it does look too pink, but I was scared of the brown tones because I tried using it on Abereron and they just look so muddy that I just didn't want to put any muddy colours on it, so he looks very pink. And then these are swatches of some Superior markers that I have. I don't know whether they were the ones from Wish or whether they were the ones that my mom brought me that one Christmas. I was just testing them out to see how this paper would take alcohol-based markers. So next page. What I used to do in university is I used to do watercolor splodges and then just do pen on top of it, and I obviously wasn't feeling it that day, so I just stopped after doing that. Next to that we have Amari. So Amari was actually the character created in my first Instagram Designs My OCs video, and I will leave a link to it in a card up in that corner right now if you would like to go see how I created this character. And then we have a picture of Alex and Ruby. Now I'm gonna say I really like the way that Alex came out, but Ruby not so much. In terms of the character being on model, she is not. It's kind of like I have used the stretch tool on Photoshop and just stretched her entire body out like that. It just doesn't look right, and it's driving me absolutely mental. I know some people would say, oh, it doesn't look too bad, but like, I am the character's creator, and I don't think she looks right at all, but I do like her face. Her face is right, but Alex turned out perfect. Then we have this sketch and then line art of Loki and her little baby Kai. This is obviously further on down the character's timeline. I didn't get to colouring. Then we have this. This is the disaster that I said happened. When it came to the Arteza watercolor pencils, they just weren't working, and I don't know what I was doing wrong. Maybe it's because I used my Coloraze pencils, but honestly, they were just causing me so much grief, and then my water ran all over the page, and it was a really off day. I even wrote fail on here because oof no. If you think that that black is actually the watercolor pencils, it is not. It is not. I think it was one of my brush pens. Yeah, it even says here, Zig Clean Color brush pen was used to like fix this mess. His hair was a complete mess until I did it with brush pen, but it was supposed to be a really cute idea. She was supposed to be brushing out his hair and it was supposed to be really, really cute. Everything went wrong. So then we have the drawing of Jalal. Now, if you guys have watched this video, because it is a speed paint on my channel that I actually uploaded on Christmas Eve, you'll notice that there's no sketchbook surrounding it. That is because this page was actually taken out of the sketchbook. A really good feature of these sketchbooks are actually its perforated edges. You can't quite see it because I covered it with washi tape to like secure this page back in, but you can see by up here that the edges are perforated and you can actually pull them apart. So this next page is a complete mess. On this day I needed thick paper so I could actually get rid of some of my markers. Now I cleared out a whole entire section of my markers and redid my marker storage, so obviously I needed to test out some old ones, and I just used it to swatch everything. And with the markers that I had left over, I actually did this little doodle down here, and then I went over it with brush pen and went completely mad. I even wrote in the speech bubble, "Zoe, stop the constant swatching." So the next page was actually me testing out my Brusho powders. I actually have a little clip to put in to actually show you how this was formed. Some more random swatches, what a surprise! But over here we actually have like this kind of scenic landscape kind of thing. This was me just taking out one of my rollerball pens and just doodling on a page, and then I took my water brush and actually wet it down and created all of this effect just by using my rollerball pen. And I did the same on the next page. So I was just testing out how my blue pen would take it, and this is how it did with that. I really like the result. I also used a little bit of blue watercolor just to like darken up some of the colors a little bit, but apart from that, it turned out really well without me having to do much. One pen, one watercolor pan, and a water brush. That was it. And I'm so happy with how it turned out. Even though it's rough, I just think it's good. So these next few pages, now these pages are gonna be out of order. Now, these were the pages that were ripped out the sketchbook that I just didn't want to waste my washi tape putting them back in the sketchbook. In fact, I might even take out the Jalal picture as well. But these pictures are just ones that I took out of the sketchbook. And you'll actually recognize some of these from previous videos because it was just an easy size that I could just take out the sketchbook and use for a video. So this is from Drawing Your OC's episode 6, and it was Kenji. Another Drawing Your OC's episode 6 is Harper. This is a Draw This in Your Style of Danielle Piccoli. This is another Draw This in Your Style, but this time it's for Destiny Blue. And then I just did this random splodge on a piece of paper. I was actually testing out how crayon would resist the watercolors, and I just did this random pen squiggle on top. I don't know what I was aiming for, but I'm just testing out different styles at the moment. So there's that. And then in one of my most recent videos, this is also for Drawing Your OC's. This is Eaton. And then finally, in the last page of the sketchbook, I did Drawing Your OC's episode 8, same as Eaton. So with that being said, there is my sketchbook done and dusted. I'm really, really happy with the way that some of the pieces in here came out. Now obviously with every sketchbook there is going to be some bad ones and some good ones. It's going to show development over a period of time. And again, I just want to thank Arteza for sending me these sketchbooks and these watercolor pencils. Even though I'm not that experienced in watercolor pencils, it meant a lot that I could actually have these sketchbooks to experiment. And because these sketchbooks have come in a set of 3, I actually have a few more sketchbook tours that I could do with these. With that being said, it is now the end of the video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, with post notifications on for notifications for every time I upload, when YouTube works of course. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!